If you're having a hard time deciding whether or not you want to bash somebody over the head with a two-hander or be a spellcaster, well, I may have the build for you, because today we're talking about War Domain Clerics here on Rolling with Advantage. Today we're going to be talking about War Domain Clerics and why you should consider playing one in your next game. I personally love this class because it allows me to cast spells, support my allies, and if I want to, I can run up and bash somebody over the head with a two-hander. Hey, that's always fun. So I chose a Goliath as my race choice on D&D Beyond, and as we take a look here, we're going to see why. As a War Domain Cleric, you want high strength because you're going to be able to swing a big two-hander. But also, Constitution is a very important thing to have as well, because as a War Domain Cleric, we're going to be up in the front line, and we're usually going to have some type of buff on ourselves in the form of Divine Fury or Crusader's Mantle to help augment our attacks even more. So the higher your constitution, the better chance you have of making your concentration checks whenever you take damage. And speaking of damage, let's talk about one of the abilities that a Goliath has that's going to help mitigate that incoming damage, and that's Stone's Endurance. So anytime you take that really big hit, you can pop your Stone's Endurance and have a better chance of keeping up your Divine Fury, your Crusader's Mantle, whatever buff you've got active. The other thing that I really want to talk about, and one of the reasons I chose Goliath, is the powerful build ability. Now, this is a rule that a lot of DMs and a lot of players completely overlook, and it's amazing. What this allows you to do is double the amount that you can lift. Now, in case you don't know, if your strength is 16, then in standard rules you can pick up and lift 30 times your strength. So 16 strength times 30, 480 pounds. But as a Goliath with a powerful build feature, now you can lift 960 pounds. And I think there's a lot of fun to be had at the table when you have a character that can lift that much and drop that much on your opponent. Just some ideas. So now we're going to dig into why we want to play this. What's the signature ability for a War Domain Cleric? And as we pick up this kit, we're going to take a look here at the War Priest ability. What the War Priest ability is going to do is going to allow you to take a number of attacks extra each day equal to your Wisdom modifier as a bonus action. So you're going to run up, you're going to swing your two-hander, and then you're going to use your bonus action to swing again. Now this is at level 1, so look at it as a mini action surge. It's pretty strong. And the way that we're going to augment that even further is with our spell casting. A War Domain Cleric has the ability to have the access to the Divine Favor spell, which is normally found in the Paladin kit, but the War Domain Cleric gets access to it. And what the Divine Favor allows us to do is every time you hit with an attack, you add a d4 of radiant damage. So if you're tracking at level 1, I'm going to run up, hit you with a d12 plus a d4, and then I'm going to use War Priest to do it again. That's really strong, and I think that's something that would be a lot of fun to play personally, because I like the flexibility. I like being able to cast, I like being able to heal, I want to support my allies, but I also like to get up there and hit somebody if I want to. There's a lot of fun to be had. Now as we go and look at our abilities, we can take a look and see what we're going to do. This is, now I always do point buy. That way it's Adventure League legal. Your mileage may vary on what you get when you roll for stats. If you do roll for stats, I would recommend having strength be your highest, and then either wisdom or constitution is a pretty close second on that. With this build here, what we've got is 14 to strength, another +2 that you're going to get for being a Goliath is going to give us a 16 to strength. We're also looking at a 15 constitution, but Goliath gets you +1, so it's a 16 constitution. Now your wisdom modifier is a little bit lower than I would recommend for a cleric. But because this is kind of a melee base, this is going to allow you to get your War Priest ability twice a day. Now at level 4, once you hit your ASI, I highly recommend putting your extra 2 points in Wisdom, and probably again at level 8, and just go ahead and keep pumping that up so that you have more chances to use War Priest ability. So as we go back and look at the class, a couple things we want to take a look at as we level our guy up here. Let's say you get to level 5. And I want to showcase what you're getting here and why this is so cool. So Guided Strike. Guided Strike is going to be this cool ability where you can use your Channel Divinity twice a day to add +10 to your roll. Now the cool thing is you get to do this after you roll, so you don't waste it. Let's say you've kind of figured out that what you're fighting has an armor class of 15 or so, and you make your roll and you look and you realize you're a couple points short of hitting. Use your Channel Divinity and push that damage through. Now as we get higher in level, we're actually going to be able to use a better version of that where you can use it for your allies as well. And what we see that is called War God's Blessing at level 6. What this is going to allow you to do is, let's say your rogue has got that perfect sneak attack opportunity set up. You're going to be able to make sure he lands that hit. Or, you know, maybe someone's in a better position for melee than you are. You've backed out of combat. You can give your barbarian a big swing. So very cool, a lot of flexibility. And that's what I like when I play characters. I like a lot of flexibility. I don't want to be tied into only doing one thing and being a one-trick pony. And that's what this class does. It allows us to do a lot of different things because we have a full spellcasting kit with a cleric, but we also have the ability to be a frontline tank, and you're buffing, you're healing, you're swinging a big two-hander around. Can be a lot of fun. Now, if you are at a table that allows multi-classing, I would suggest at some point maybe taking 5 levels in Fighter, or maybe even 5 levels in Paladin. What this allows you to do is to pick up extra attack, which means we can just go even more bonkers with our War Priest ability. So we get extra attack to swing twice, use War Priest ability to swing again. If you're swinging a two-hander 3 times around, you're doing pretty good. Anyway, that's our build today, and as always, I continue to roll with advantage. And if you have any questions at all, just remember to like, subscribe, comment. We'd love to get more videos out there and to see what you guys want us to look at, to build, and to optimize your gaming experience. Take care.